We just lost $17 while watching this video and you don't even know it. I'm serious. By the time I finish explaining this, money will have literally vanished from your life through choices you're making right now without realizing it. And this isn't some clickbait nonsense. This is about Mia, a woman in her early 30s, East Asian, who discovered she was bleeding money every single day through tiny decisions that seemed completely harmless. Mia thought she was being smart with money. She had a budget app, she compared prices at the grocery store, and she even clipped digital coupons. But something wasn't adding up. Every month, she'd look at her bank account and wonder where all her money went. Sound familiar? Because Mia's story is probably your story too. Let me paint you a picture of Mia's Tuesday morning. She wakes up 15 minutes late because she hit snooze 3 times. Already running behind, she grabs her phone and orders an Uber instead of taking the bus. $7 gone. She's hungry and stressed, so she stops at the coffee shop for her usual latte and breakfast sandwich. $12 more vanished. By 9 a.m., Mia has already spent $19 without thinking twice about it. But here's where it gets scary. Mia doesn't see these as real expenses. In her mind, she's just solving problems. The Uber solves her lateness problem. The coffee solves her hunger problem. The breakfast sandwich solves her convenience problem. She's not buying luxuries. She's buying solutions. And that's exactly how money disappears without you noticing. Think about your own morning. How many times did you solve a small problem with money instead of time or planning? Because every time you choose the convenient option over the free option, you're making what I call a micro-wealth decision. These decisions seem tiny, but they compound like crazy. Mia's day continues. At lunch, she realizes she forgot to pack food again. The cafeteria at work charges $8 for a basic salad. But she's hungry and busy, so she pays it. After work, she's too tired to cook, so she orders takeout for $22. She could have made the same meal at home for $6, but convenience wins again. By Thursday, Mia notices she's low on groceries, but doesn't have time for a full shopping trip. So she stops at the convenience store near her apartment. She spends $18 on items that would cost $12 at the regular grocery store. She knows it's more expensive, but it saves her 30 minutes. Time is money, right? Wrong. Here's what Mia didn't realize. She was paying a convenience tax on her entire life. Every single day, she was choosing to solve problems with money instead of solving them with systems. And this convenience tax was costing her way more than she ever imagined. Let me show you the real numbers from Mia's life. Her daily Uber rides when she was running late averaged 4 times per week. That's $28 weekly, or about $1,500 per year. Her impulse coffee and food purchases happened roughly 5 times per week, averaging $12 each time. That's another $3,000 annually. Her convenience store visits and premium-priced last-minute purchases added up to roughly $2,000 yearly. Mia was spending over $6,000 per year on what felt like necessary expenses, but they were actually convenience taxes. She was literally paying money to avoid planning, preparation, and slight inconveniences. And the crazy part, she had no idea this was happening because each individual expense felt justified in the moment. This is where Mia's story becomes everyone's story. We all have convenience taxes bleeding our wealth away. Maybe yours isn't Uber rides and coffee shops. Maybe you're paying subscription fees for services you barely use because canceling feels like a hassle. Maybe you're buying name-brand groceries instead of generic because you haven't taken 5 minutes to compare prices. Maybe you're paying bank fees because you never looked into better account options. The problem isn't that these expenses exist. The problem is that they're invisible. They hide behind justifications like, I needed it, I was in a hurry, or it's only a few dollars. But invisible expenses are still real expenses, and they add up to very real wealth destruction. Mia's wake-up call came during a conversation with her grandmother. Her grandma mentioned how she used to walk 20 minutes to save 5 cents on milk during the Depression. Mia laughed and said she'd gladly pay extra to save 20 minutes. Her grandmother looked at her seriously and said something that changed everything. You're not buying convenience, honey. You're renting your life back from poor planning. That hit Mia like a truck. She realized she wasn't paying for convenience, she was paying for disorganization. Every convenience tax was really a planning failure tax. She was essentially penalizing herself financially for not thinking ahead. So Mia decided to track every single convenience tax for 1 week. She wrote down every expense that was caused by poor planning, disorganization, or choosing the easy option over the smart option. The results shocked her. In just 7 days, she spent $43 on planning failure taxes. That would be over $2,000 per year. But tracking the expenses wasn't enough. Mia needed to understand why she kept making these choices. She realized that she was treating money as the solution to time management problems. Instead of waking up earlier, meal prepping, or planning her routes, she was outsourcing her life organization to her wallet. Here's what Mia discovered about herself and what you might discover about yourself too. Every convenience tax represents a moment where you chose immediate comfort over long-term wealth. It's not about the individual purchase. It's about the pattern of using money to avoid the small inconveniences that responsible adults handle. The scariest part isn't the money you're losing. It's that these habits make you financially fragile without realizing it. When you depend on convenience purchases to solve daily problems, you're not just spending money. You're avoiding the skills and systems that actually create financial stability. Mia's transformation didn't happen overnight, but it started with one simple change. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this convenience purchase?" she started asking, "What system could I create to avoid needing this purchase?" Instead of buying solutions, she started building systems. She bought a coffee maker and started prepping breakfast the night before. She set multiple alarms and laid out clothes to avoid morning rushes. She started meal prepping on Sundays to avoid expensive lunch purchases. She scheduled regular grocery trips to avoid convenience store markups. None of these changes were complicated, but they required intentional planning. Within 3 months, Mia was saving over $400 monthly just by eliminating convenience taxes. But more importantly, she felt more in control of her life. She wasn't constantly solving preventable problems with money. She was preventing the problems in the first place. And money you lost while watching this video, it happened because somewhere in your life you chose convenience over planning. Maybe it was a subscription auto-renewing. Maybe it was interest accumulating on debt. Or maybe it was a premium you're paying for procrastination. But I guarantee it happened. Your challenge is simple. For the next 7 days, track every convenience tax you pay. Write down every expense that exists because you chose the easy option over the smart option. Don't judge yourself, just notice, because you can't change what you can't see. Remember, wealth isn't built by making more money. It's built by keeping more of the money you already make. Stop renting your life back from poor planning and start building systems that work for your future self. If this story made you rethink your own spending habits, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your energy supports this channel and helps more people wake up financially.